All right, so this is part two. Kind of going into more detail on macros. So basically, the biggest thing with the macros is to try to figure out how much of each you need, and to be able to have a way to kind of track it throughout the day and week, to know what you're eating. So there's tons of free apps out there that you can get. Even the purchase ones that are a little bit nicer are like a couple of dollars. So you can just scan barcodes on them and it'll automatically calculate and load the foods up there. But it's very simple, really, as far as just knowing if you Google any food, you can Google how macros of an egg, and it's going to be like 6 grams of fat and 6 grams of protein per egg. And you can do the math. I had 3 eggs, 18 of each, and bam, put that in the app. Figuring it out, there's also macro calculators. There's a wide variety, it seems like, on those. So if you're just going off that, it's going to take some trial and error, because some of them you just punch in, like, I'm a female, I weigh 150 pounds, I want to lose fat. That's because they'll have like goals like muscle gain, fat loss, whatever, and then it'll spit out a calculation for what you should be having per day. But each app has got drastically different numbers in it. So that's where a coach is pretty helpful, that can really factor in all your stuff with their experience, your lifestyle, how much activity you're doing, how much you're working out, yada, yada, yada. Some of the apps try to factor in that too, but honestly, you can start doing it. Just track it. If you're not losing weight, start adjusting stuff. Lower your carbs would be the first thing I would do. Fats generally don't need to be too high for almost everybody. If you're under 50, I would say, for almost everybody, you'll be okay as long as your carbs are decently low. And this is very generalized, so don't get crazy with this. But if you want more help, I can help you, or I have friends who that's all that they do. But I'm trying to this is like a starting point, and then you can dial from there to adjust these things. The protein stays the same. I always say like 0.8 to 1.5 for most people, grams per pound of body weight a day. So if I weigh 200 pounds, I should be trying to get 200 pounds of protein every day. And that just doesn't change. You don't ever have to really adjust that unless something else changes, but that's always going to be consistent. You just change carbs and fats. So again, that's kind of a trial and error thing with figuring the stuff out, unless you have a coach who's got the experience, and even them, they're probably going to adjust your food a little bit. So starting tracking, just getting good at it. I would say it takes a couple weeks just to get really proficient, but after that, it's so easy. Like, people always say, I don't have the time. I got kids and stuff. I'm busy too. Like, half the time I don't know what my schedule is. Sometimes I work 17-hour days, and I'm still able to keep track of it. It's like 30 seconds, if that, to track the different foods. You preload them, you have the stuff. If you have some consistency in your diet, which is a good thing, then it's easy, because you're going to be eating a lot of the same stuff every day. But it's like, another thing that I think about is like working dogs and stuff like that. They don't change their diet. They're not eating all kinds of different stuff every day. They're getting 2 scoops of whatever every day, and that's why they're lean and muscular and ready to go, because they don't have all this variation in their diet going all over the place. Variation's great, but as long as you're hitting all your nutrients and things like that, that consistency is really what is good. Consistency. Consistently eating good foods throughout the week. You do that, you have one binge out where you go to a birthday party and have 4 pieces of cake, it's really not going to matter. Because you've been eating good for 3 weeks. You're not going to destroy that with one binge out. Now, if you're binging 3 times a week, yeah, you're going to destroy it. But, the one weekend where you go out and you do something, it's not going to be a problem at all. And that's why I can go out and have pizza at the tailgates or whatever, and it's not going to ruin it because I eat consistently throughout the week. So, macros plus consistency equals results.